Okay, folks, so I want to do a video that kind of talks about I think is going to be Tacoma's next hotspot. Now, I've talked about this a little bit before, and I've mentioned it in many different other instances. And what I mean by hotspot is the next place in the city that I think is going to really grow tremendously fast. And obviously, there's a lot of information out there that talks about this, but it just makes logical sense. And I think that we're just scratching the surface, and I tell the reason why I think it's going to grow tremendously fast. I first want to also mention, before I get into all of that, thank you to our patrons who are actually on our account. We appreciate that. We got another Patreon author, Genevieve, I believe. Thank you for being our patron. Also, River Matsu, we appreciate it. River was mentioned in a previous video. We appreciate our patrons. We also have other people who are members who are basically they're not actually members, they're just following our account. So you can also do that as well. Following the account doesn't charge you anything. What it does is it lets you know when we actually do post something. Because those posts are not always going to be on YouTube. They will actually show up on Patreon. But back to the story at hand. The image you're looking at right now is going to be a mixed-use development that's actually going to go up in the Dome District of Tacoma. Okay? Now, the Dome District of Tacoma is an area that I think is going to be the next big spot of growth. You know, people talk about Hilltop. I think Hilltop definitely will be one of those places that, on the long-term scale, will have a lot of development. But I think there's a lot of different conditions there that makes that a little bit more challenging. And I think that folks are going to push back based on changing the character of the community. Hilltop has had a bad reputation for a long time, and by putting in the Tacoma Link extension, which is the light rail line, you're going to basically open that area up to a lot more development anyway. There's a lot of empty storefronts that are there, and there's a lot of potential in old buildings, even some vacant lots that can easily be redeveloped, and they are going to be redeveloped. And you're looking at, there's people and companies that are looking at doing that as we speak, right? And there's already projects that are planned. But I think that the Dome District is going to have the greatest development. Outside of downtown and the taller buildings that are being built, I think the Dome District won't necessarily see a lot of big, tall buildings. I think you're going to see a lot of mid-rises that are over there. The Dome District, which obviously is the Tacoma Dome, it has Freight House Square that is there, which this building that I just showed you is going to be close to there. There's a lot of other mixed-use projects that are actually going to be developed there as well. There are some that have already been listed, others that are about to be listed as being developed. And it is right there where all the transportation is. And so it's going to make it a very attractive place. If you think about it, Sounded trains actually stop there. The Tacoma Link stops there. There's a large parking garage that is there. Greyhound stops there. Amtrak stops there. The city bus system, their main hub, is right there. The high capacity transit BRT system is going to stop there. And eventually, in 2030, supposedly, the Seattle light rail system, right? The Link light rail, Central light rail, the green line, if you will connect right there. So all of that is a massive multimodal transit center. So the development I showed you is a TOD, or a transit-oriented development project, and there's going to be several in that area. Put on top of that, one of the huge attractions that we're hoping to get, because we're trying to turn the area over there by the Tacoma Dome, which is parking, turn that into a destination, an entertainment destination, would be Top Golf. Now, there hasn't been a lot of news about it, but rumor has it that basically Top Golf and the city are doing like traffic estimations and all these different things to see if they're going to be a good fit and what disruptions may happen. But if that does happen, and it probably will, that area is going to just explode in growth. Also, in the Dome District, there's a lot of small, little bitty mom and pop type style businesses, old structures, little low-rise, 1 to 2 story buildings that can easily be torn down and redeveloped. In fact, there's a lot of them that are. This is an area that also has old warehouses, old structures that basically don't really do much of anything. So the cost to buy those buildings are a lot cheaper, much more affordable than if you go into central downtown Tacoma, right? So given the fact that it has all of that, the future Topgolf, as well as the future transit that's going to be expanding really within the next 5 years even, my bet is going to be on the Dome District. I would say for folks who are saying, hey, I'm thinking about moving there probably in the next few years, this would be one of the locations that would probably be a good place to move to as far as an apartment goes. If you don't want to have a car, the Dome District is going to be the king in Tacoma, or queen, however you want to see it. It's going to be the prime section of the city to live without having a car at all. I think that is going to probably, other than downtown, that's going to be the prime location to live if you don't want to own a car and you want to have great access to transit and quick access to right there in the center of downtown. It already exists. Quick access to the hospital. So if you're a nurse or a doctor or whatever and you work in the medical field, perfect. That's my bet. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.